This morning I'm making a vanilla bean cake with a pecan praline glaze. So let's get started on Darlene's table. I'm going to mix the baking soda, baking powder, and a half a teaspoon of the salt together. So we're going to mix these together. And next we're going to cream the butter and sugar. It will take about 6 to 7 minutes to get it to the light and fluffy stage and you see the color change. Scrape the sides of the bowl several times during this process. See the difference in the color? How light and fluffy. That's when you know you've got this creamed well. Okay, let me scrape it down and I'm going to start adding eggs. I'm going to start with 1 egg, one at a time on low. This is the last egg. Quarter teaspoon of almond. And I wound up putting 3 tablespoons of the vanilla bean paste in this cake. It's reflected in the recipe. I'm going to put in half the flour. Once this flour is incorporated, I'm going to slowly pour the buttermilk in on low speed. Do it slowly, it takes a little bit of time. Alright, now it's all in. And we'll add the second half of the flour. After tasting this dough, I decided it needed more of that vanilla bean paste, but it is a total of 3 tablespoons. All right, now it's time to fill the cake pan. So I've already greased and floured my cake pan. I'm going to put the batter in all the way a little at a time, and I want it even. Try not to get any on the sides. All right, so tap it down. Try to get any air bubbles out. Okay, into the oven. 50 minutes and then I'm going to check it. All right, let's check it. I think it might be ready. Yes, that's ready. Okay, it's going to cool in the pan for 45 minutes and then we'll put the glaze on it. All right, it's been 45 minutes. I'm going to turn the cake out onto the cooling rack and let it cool completely before I put the glaze on. We're going to make the glaze, the pecan praline glaze. So I'm going to let this melt a little. This is going to go along with the cream. Now, I've got it on a medium low, and once the butter's all melted and it's blended, I'll turn it to medium high and let it boil for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so now everything's melted. I'm going to turn the heat up to a medium high. And we'll let this boil for 3 minutes. Let it thicken up. That is thick enough. Now I'm going to put the pecans in. So I have a half a cup of pecan halves. I'm also going to put a little vanilla. Oh, come on. Now I'm going to let this cool slightly. Not completely cool, just a little bit. And then I'm going to spoon it over the cake. All right, time to put the glaze over this cake. Now, I want to talk a little about the vanilla. I use vanilla bean paste almost exclusively. It does call for vanilla beans, and you can do that, but I rarely have the vanilla beans on hand, and I always have the vanilla bean paste. And these beautiful pecans, they're from Birdall Pecan Farm in Cedar Park, Texas. I buy my pecans almost exclusively from them as well. No matter what you're using your pecans for, they should always be fresh. If they're dark, do not use those pecans. They are old. That's what you see in the grocery stores. No telling how old those pecans are. You see how fresh mine look with the lighter color? It's always good advice to use the freshest ingredients. Well, my neighbors are waiting patiently for some of this cake. It worked just fine. I did not make any changes to it, and I think it's going to be absolutely wonderful. Vanilla bean cake with pecan praline glaze. Just look at this cake. It turned out beautifully. With the pecan praline glaze drizzled over the top, I mean, it's gorgeous, and I'm ready to taste it. But gorgeous aside, what really matters is that taste, and this cake checks every box. First of all, you better like the taste of vanilla, because it is all throughout this cake. I mean, it is a vanilla bean cake after all. And the pecan praline made with brown sugar, butter, and cream, mixed with chopped pecans, then caramelized into a sweet glaze drizzled on top. Well, that is just icing on the cake. Then there is the texture, moist, rich, velvety, and luxurious comes to mind in every bite. And the pecans add crunch to the overall texture, elevating this cake to another level. I really hope you give this recipe a try soon and let me know what you think. You can find this recipe on my website, darlenestable.com, and thank you for watching this video, and come again soon to Darlene's Table.